Hello students, nice to see you again. So in our last class, we studied about the electric charge. I hope that you might have studied the electric charge. Now we are moving on to the remaining terms which we are using in our electricity. That is our conductors and insulators. Now I hope that you know and you have already studied these conductors and insulators earlier in your previous classes. If we talk about the conductors, conductors are those materials or substances which allow the passage of electric charges here. Just like the examples, we can take metals. All metals are good conductors, like copper is there, silver is there, aluminum is there. These all are metals. So metals are actually, these are the good conductors which allow the passage of electricity. On the other hand, when we are talking about the insulators, insulators are those materials which prevent or which does not allow the passage of electric current or electric charges. The examples of insulators are plastics, glass, wood. So these are the examples of insulators. Since the conductors which allow the passage of electric current, moreover we are using in our electricity, and on the same time we are also using the insulator. If I talk about a copper wire, since the copper is a metal and it is insulated by the plastic material or substances which is wrapped over it and which prevents us from the electric shocks. So that is insulator, and the copper, the wire which is inside the plastic cover, that is conductor. Now today further the terms, that is very important term we will talk about, electric potential. Very short definition of electric potential is there. That is electric energy per unit charge. So a very short definition is given in the introductory part, that is electric energy per unit charge is called electric potential. See, electric potential, the literary meaning of potential means it's a caliber, we can say in the English meaning. Literary meaning is caliber or the strength. So electric strength, that is called the electric potential. What is the strength of the electric charges there which are passing through the conductors? Now here in the electric potential, when a unit positive test charge is placed in an electric field, when a unit positive test charge is placed in an electric field, then it experiences a force of repulsion due to another positive charge So, see, when a unit test positive charge is placed in an electric field, it experiences a force of repulsion. Why this force of repulsion? Because the same charge is present in there, and due to that it experiences, when two similar charges are there, that is produces a repulsion forces, and opposite charges always have a force of attraction there. So some work has to be done now. See, some work has to be done to move the charge, to move this unit positive charge against the force of repulsion. This is the complete explanation of electric potential here. That is, when a unit test positive charge is placed in an electric field, then it experiences a force of repulsion due to another positive charge. Now, to overcome this force of repulsion, what we have to do? Some work has to be done to move the charge against the force of repulsion. Now, if there is a charge, that is charge A, now to move this charge A from charge B, some work has to be done on this charge Q. Let the test charge be Q here, positive test charge, and the work done is given by W. So for moving the test charge from A to point B, some work has to be done. So we can say that the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive test charge from infinity to a point in an electric field is called electric potential. So this is the scientific definition here. The amount of work done, that is W, in bringing a unit test charge, that is positive Q, from infinity. So we have taken point A and point B. Any of the point may be infinity here. So from infinity to a point in an electric field. So when we are moving this charge from point A to point B, that is called movement of the charges, then some work has to be done. That is called electric potential. Now this electric potential SI unit is volt, and it is denoted by V. So we are using a symbol V for electric potential as well as for potential difference. Now let the positive charge is being moving in an electric field, and the amount of work done in movement of this positive charge be W. Then we can write this expression as V is equals to W by Q. W by Q, where V is the volt, W is the work done, V is the volt, or we can say voltage, and Q is the charge. And since we also know that Q charge is expressed as Coulomb and the work done is expressed in joules. You have studied last year about the work done is expressed in joule. So this can be said that 1 volt is equals to 1 joule upon 1 Coulomb. So we can also define what is, there is a small question for you. What is 1 volt? What is 1 volt? In the expression I had written here, 1 volt equals to 1 joule upon 1 Coulomb. That is, an electric charge is said to be 1 volt when 1 joule of work is done in moving or carrying or bringing 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another point. That is called 1 volt. After this electric potential, now we are moving on to the next term, that is potential difference. So the word potential difference here, that is the difference between the potentials of two conductors, the two endpoints. Now the definition is almost similar for the potential, since its SI unit is also same, N volt, and is denoted by V. Now we can define this as the amount of work done in moving test charge, that is Q plus, from one point to another point in an electric field. So here is the definition of potential difference: the amount of work done in moving a test charge. Work done is W again, and moving this test charge from one point to another point in an electric field. Now here we are having already two fixed points in a conductor. Let it be point A and point B. The amount of work done in moving a test charge Q. So expression we will take again, V is equals to W by Q. Now based on this expression, if the work done is given to us, since work done is expressed in the joules and Q is the charges may be given in the coulomb, we can easily find what is the potential across the conductor. Let us suppose that 200 joules of work is to be done in moving a test charge of 20 coulomb. Then we can say that the potential across the two endpoints, that is point A and point B, that will be 10 volts. Got it? 200 divided by 20. So we can get the 10 volts as a potential difference across the point A and point B. And the work done is 200 joules, and the test charge which is moving in that conductor from A to B is 20 coulombs. Then the potential will be 10 volts. Now in the same manner, suppose the voltage V is already given and Q is given to us. We can get this expression as, we can take this Q this side, this W work done we can find as V into Q, or we can also get what will be the Q. Then Q can be obtained as W upon V. So if the work done is given and the potential across the conductors are given, then we can easily find what will be the how much stress charge is flowing or moving across the points from one point to another point or from point A to point B. So this expression can be given as W equals to V into Q also, or Q is equals to W by V. Now students, if you will open the textbook, you can obtain certain numericals based on these three different expressions, which is obtained from this expression, that is V is equals to W by Q. So I want you to go through the numericals. If you have any query, you can ask me. Don't have any hesitation.